Now here's Hannah Bates. Here's someone else who rode for the first time here last year. Again, one young lady who's come through the juniors and young riders, thought of highly, and can she now take advantage of her experience last year? As her first performance round badminton, she was very good indeed.
Valdemar's a very highly rated horse, so it will be interesting to see how he goes there. And here's Rodney to the village on Zinzan, who's still jumping very well. Looks a little bit weary on his legs, but looks like he's got plenty of jump there. He's going to be just over the time. He's on time faults from now, so he'll be getting a handful, won't he, Mike?
He'll be getting a lot. To get anywhere near, they've got to be jumping the Rolex crossing at somewhere about 25-30 seconds to go. So he is way behind.
He's done well though, and I think that, to the horse to have come here and to have kept going and hopefully come home with a clear round would be a great result under his belt.
Strong riding across that road, angled logs, got to be careful of that. It's easy just to catch a knee and get flipped out, but Zinzan looks full of running. Rodney would have lost time when he had suddenly to change his plan in that Shogun Hollow, but in the end of the day, what's that, probably 10 seconds?
Yeah, I was going to say 15 actually, but I think also to have that stumble on the bank there was quite sapping. It does just knock their rhythm, but he's given him the best ride he could possibly give him, and we'll be very happy with that now.
Well, Rodney Powell's one of our senior riders. He sets himself very high standards. A very good coach, Rodney. He's got a lot of good young riders he teaches. 45-year-old Rodney Powell, one of 5 previous winners who are in this year's Mitsubishi Motors Championship. So we're getting to the meat of this competition now. Halfway through, it's still Polly Stockton, Tom Quigley out in front as we rejoin Janelle Pitts with Mr. Showoff. She had that run past the brush in the middle of the water. I think her only jumping penalty at the moment. Whoops. Again, not really. She not taking not giving the signals there. The horse actually doing it for himself. There's obviously a great partnership here. I think there's an understanding, but on this sort of track, you've got to get the horse onto the end of the rein and show him the way to go, because it's not obvious. And you can see here there's a bit of breakdown in communication sometimes. Very neat there.
And she's deciding to go round, which is...
That's a sensible, because actually the horse not quite responding as quickly as he did earlier on. And that, when you feel that as a rider, you've got to be sympathetic and stick with them and just take time and care.
Exactly, and I think as you see there, that was bad luck. But, that perhaps shouldn't have happened. Very, very frustrating for her to have had that stage. There's really not too much to jump after that. Really, really annoying. But as we saw with Emily Baldwin earlier, she was judging what she had and just getting the horse home. And I thought Janelle was trying to do the same thing, but you see, he just hooked her leg on it.
Well, badminton over the years has been badminton. It's always one of the most searching tests. And I have to say, there's been various discussion about how badminton pans out in the future, but this 2008 is definitely badminton.
It certainly is. You don't dare think there's a lot of very, very good horses here. And here we've got Tankerstown, for example. And you would expect most of these horses to be whizzing around. I thought there might be 10 inside the time, actually. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
well, just to put this round in context for Sharon Hunt, there's probably, I think, William, you may not agree, there's about 3 or 4 looking probably for position 5, position 6 in the build-up to Hong Kong, and this is one combination who could right be in there, and if they could really impress the selectors, they do their chances no harm whatsoever. They, of course, grabbed their chance with both hands in Aachen, and that was nicely ridden through there.
She rode that very calmly on the 4, didn't she? But I think, he's a very good jumper and a very nimble horse, so that was a very good choice.
Grabbed a chance in Aachen by finishing 9th individually. Didn't jump in the team as we watch Hannah Bates and Valdemar now. Seen too much of Hannah, but she's coming to those HSBC Classic logs before the Outlander Bank. 3:52. I think she's behind the clock.
She's a little bit down, and you know, again, he's still jumping well, but they're looking weary, aren't they? They're just looking like their legs are heavy at this stage. They've done, in that section of the course, they've done 11 jumping efforts in under a minute. I mean, you've probably said that already, but that, in a 3-day event like this, that's a huge effort for the horses.
So now coming to the Shogun Hollow.
He's keeping it short. He jumped that very neatly. Oh, she definitely pulled him off, but she left it quite late, didn't she?
But there was a clear
signal.
Yep.
Yeah. She could probably see. She does a lot of show jumping. She's got a great eye for a stride, and she could see she was going to get there on the 3.5, couldn't she? It was a very good
horse owned by Katie Worlock and Jeanette Brockhurst. That was Valdemar. Now we're back with Tankers Town, owned by Sharon's parents. I was saying a little earlier that this is a combination which in my books grabbed her chance, came quite late to get in and ride as an individual arc, and has really put herself on the map ever since.
She did. She rode fantastically. Did herself no harm at all. Great partnership these two have got. As you can see, he is a super jumper. Missed a little bit last year towards the end of the season, but won't have done him any harm.
And he's in a good dressage score too. Sharon's got everything going for her at the moment, 43.7.
Yeah, she's right up there. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with this ground. He's not a thoroughbred horse, and although he went very well here at Badminton a couple of years back and did the time easily, I think this year's a different case.
It's interesting you say that, William, because there are people who feel that the sport has changed, that some of the sport horses using some of the international warm blood, as we call them, is being what the sport is now asking for. You watch competitions like that, it's not the case, is it?
It really isn't, and I think they do vary enormously, and badminton from one year to another varies enormously. But ultimately, if you can have a really, a blood horse, and we'll see Moonfleet later on with Andrew Hoyle, probably not look like he's going out of a canter, and he'll easily do the time. You realise that ideally a horse with thoroughbred is going to find this sort of ground much easier. But that was fantastic.
This is a lady on a mission. She knows she's got an outside chance of Hong Kong, and just taking that up, would you agree there's 3 or 4 of them that if they impress their selectors here, they could come into the reckoning?
There's definitely quite a wide choice there. I don't think the selectors are at all pushed at this stage. Normally, as you get closer, the teams tend to select themselves, but right now there's a few horses here at Badminton that are out there to prove it, and Sharon's certainly one of them, in with a very good chance.
And just talking about that, William, Parkmore Ed, that would be perhaps your first choice at this stage?
I think he's looking very promising. He's very impressive horse, and he's only gone better and better since Burley. So I've got him there, but I've got Tamarillo later, and we're hoping to get him
and how
qualified.
Is the young man Tamarillo?
He's just dying for him just to feel a little bit stiffer and older, actually. He's as elastic as ever, and feels on top form. That was just perfect through there.
And how good the horse was. He landed as firm as a rock on that drop.
He knew exactly what was coming, didn't he?
Exactly. Valdemar, Hannah Bates at the media service staircase, loses a leg.
Okay.
Good decision.
Good choice.
And is she saying to herself, I think the horse is going to retire?
She's not sure.
No, she's in 2 minds, isn't she?
Just looks like her steering's gone, and she's just seeing whether he can still stay up to the bridle.
Interesting. Last year, of course, a lot of discussion about the going. It was fast. It could have been described as nothing else.
It's so different, isn't it?
So different. And that's when this combination looked at their best last year. Now, Tankers Town down in the Vicarage V, over halfway. Let's take a check on the clock as she comes into this HSB's fence. Oh, and makes that look good.
Did that very well, didn't she? I mean,
long way to go still, but so far so good.
He's looking full of running, and she's seeing some great strides here and really riding him positively. He's got his ears on the job, and just see how he goes towards the finish. But
there's a good shot
of
the turn to that.
She knifed in, didn't she?
She did. She's not only travelling at a nice pace, but she's going the short route, and that's what normally gives you the good times.
Yeah, just taking the flag, but a lot of hat, haven't they, there?
Keep your head now, Sharon. This is a fence you don't want to take too many chances.
Yeah, just the one tricky one to go here for Sharon. But he's got plenty about him still. She'd be not too quick.
And he's neat in front. Well ridden, another flag. Those flags are new. They're plastic flags easily, but they can be very quickly put up. They're a great safety improvement on all of the international courses. As here's Hannah Beek Valdemar, and I think she'll be disappointed because now she's a minute over plus on this course. And
he's just jolly tired, isn't he?
Yeah.
She's done well to have got him round. She obviously had a moment of worrying about him, but